Paris, France, the most visited city in the world. Over 44 million tourists will come and visit the popular landmarks, world-class museums, eat French cuisine, and stroll the charming neighborhoods. There's so much to see and do here that even a month stay is not enough. So join us on our 2 days in Paris adventure as we explore this classic city. 2 days is not much time to explore Paris, so we're going to share all the things we could cram into 48 hours. Starting with the popular attractions, some savory plant-based restaurants, and the best ways to get around town. It's all right here on Enjoy the Life. If you haven't subscribed yet, do it now. Let's get started.
Here we are at the train station. We're getting ready to go to Paris, France.
It's December 18th, a week before Christmas, and we originally flew into London, and after 4 days, we decided to take the train to Paris. Paris is only a 2-hour trip from London. We traveled underneath the English Channel, and before you knew it, we were in Paris. Once in Paris, we were a little confused on where to catch the metro to our hotel. And then we were informed that the metro station is actually outside the train station.
Paris, bonjour, Paris.
Finally, we decided just to take an Uber, since we had heavy baggage and most of the metro stations don't have escalators or elevators.
El soleil. Oui. Ici, c'est froid. Très froid.
And Margarita had a chance to practice her French with the Uber driver. As we rode our Uber, we were so excited to be in Paris. It's such a beautiful city. Everything is so organized. It's like a giant work of art. We arrived at the Hotel Citadines in the 3rd arrondissement. It's a great location, very near the Louvre Museum. It was under construction, which meant we got a pretty good price.
Yes, we're home.
It was a nice hotel for the money. Hotels are not cheap in Paris. We paid $224 a night, and that's with a full kitchen, including a dishwasher. And the shower was awesome. We got settled into our hotel and we had something to eat. Then it was off to the show at the Moulin Rouge. We went to the 11 p.m. show because it's the cheapest at $133 a ticket. There's a 7 p.m. dinner show for around $250 a ticket and a 9 p.m. show for around $180.
We're here early for Moulin Rouge. That's good.
We went early, got in line. They herd you in there like cattle, but they are very professional and nice. And the theater is really beautiful with crystal chandeliers. Once inside, they seated us right next to the stage. And they really pack as many people in as they can, but we had plenty of room, and we were very comfortable. As the show began, we were absolutely blown away. It was amazing. The costumes, the dance numbers, and the energy you get from the performers was mind-blowing. It's a celebration of women's liberation. And one of my favorite parts was the quadrille, or the French can-can, with its screams and crazy rhythm. It's not just a dance show, there's also some incredible acrobats. This show is a great way to begin your Paris experience because it's very French, very open, provocative, and just entertaining and very professional. It was a 2-hour show and the time flew by. I was never bored. Our recommendation? Go if you have the chance. We loved the show so much, we were kicking and dancing the whole way home.
Welcome to Paris.
The next morning we were up and on the road early because we have a full day of sightseeing ahead of us. We located a couple of Lime bikes near our hotel. Renting a Lime electric bike is a great and inexpensive way to get around Paris. All through Paris, they have dedicated bike lanes to make getting around town really easy. Totally bike-friendly. Our first stop is Land and Monkey's Vegan Bakery. Everything in this bakery is plant-based and really delicious. I wish we could have spent more time here so I could eat one of everything because it all looks so good. They have it all. We ended up getting some egg-free quiche tarts and some baguettes with veggie cheese and sun-dried tomato, and washed it down with some delicious coffee. It was so good. The baguettes in France are the best. After breakfast, we were off to Sacré-Cœur in the 18th arrondissement. We decided to ride around the back to bypass the stairs in the front. The Basilique du Sacré-Cœur, or Sacred Heart of Montmartre, is the second most visited monument right behind the Eiffel Tower. The Sacré-Cœur took 40 years to build and was finished in 1914. It stands at the summit of Montmartre, overlooking the city of Paris. As we made our way to the church, we were met with an abundance of street vendors. Some selling tourist items, others selling love locks that couples can write messages and secure them to the railings and bridges. This is not legal, so don't do it. The Parisians do not appreciate it. We wanted to go inside the church, but the line was very long, so we made our way to the neighborhood of Montmartre. Montmartre, which dates back to the 8th century, is a vibrant neighborhood primarily known for its artistic history. In the early 1900s, it was very popular with famous artists such as Monet, Renoir, Degas, Picasso, and Vincent Van Gogh. Before Van Gogh came to Paris, his paintings were bleak and colorless. But he was so inspired by Montmartre's neighborhoods, his paintings began to explode with color and life. It's also the setting of many hit films. Now the Place du Tertre is a popular setting where you can buy art from local artists. And even have your portrait painted. I really understand why they love this neighborhood so much. Next, we hopped in an Uber and it's off to the Arc de Triomphe, which sits at the west end of Avenue des Champs-Élysées. It's a monument that celebrates all the historical French victories. It was completed in 1836 and sits in the center of 12 busy avenues. To get to the monument, don't try to cross the street because you'll get run over. There's a tricky tunnel that runs underneath the street. The Arc de Triomphe honors those who fought and died for France in the French Revolution and the Napoleonic Wars, with the names of all the French victories and generals inscribed on its inner and outer surfaces. It's also the location of the tomb of the unknown soldier from World War I. This guy, Charles Godfrey, even flew his biplane through the arch. That was a crazy stunt. We were lucky enough to be given free tickets up to the top by somebody whose wife didn't want to walk up the 264 steps to the top.
You see, my crochet work.
The crocheted hat worked.
She's like, you are a fanatic. Go.
You are a French fanatic. You need free tickets.
Yes, it's 264 steps to the top of the Arc de Triomphe. It's a nice workout, but if you need help, there is an elevator available, but you have to ask. There's a first-floor museum which gives the complete history of the Arc. Including a nice gift shop. And the top deck gives you a 360 view of Paris, including the financial district, Champs-Élysées, and the Eiffel Tower. And to end the day, we made our way to the Eiffel Tower, or Tour Eiffel. The Eiffel Tower is 300 meters tall, and it sits on the Champ de Mars. It's named after its creator, Gustave Eiffel, and was constructed from 1987 to 1989.
Oh la la! Latte and Tour Eiffel.
It's the most popular tourist attraction in Paris, symbolizing the romance and ingenuity of the City of Light. Designed as the centerpiece of the 1889 World's Fair, The tower was meant to commemorate the centennial of the French Revolution. It's very popular, so it's good to get tickets in advance so you don't have to wait in line. You can purchase tickets up to 60 days in advance. Tickets now are 28 euros to the top and 18 euros to the second floor, and it's cheaper if you take the stairs. We opted to go to the second floor by elevator. The one thing about visiting the tower is there's some wait times for the elevators. Going up, you have to wait about 20 minutes, and coming down, it's about the same or more. Here's some more interesting facts about the Eiffel Tower. It took 2 years to build and used 7,300 tons of iron and 2.5 million rivets. It was supposed to be only temporary, but then they decided to keep it. It remains one of the most visited monuments in the world, welcoming almost 7 million visitors a year and more than 300 million people since its debut. There's even a little apartment in the top.
Second floor, everybody gets off, please. Change elevator for the top.
Once on the second floor, you have a great view of the city, beginning with Jardin do Trocadero and the financial district. With beautiful views of the Seine River and the Champs de Mars. It's not as pretty in the wintertime, and most of the locations are ripped up and under construction as Paris is preparing for the 2024 Olympics. You may ask, is the Eiffel Tower worth it? I say yes. It's one of those classic things you have to scratch off your bucket list. The nighttime is when the tower really comes alive, when it's all lit up with its flashing light show. It's so cool. The Eiffel Tower's sparkling lights are copyrighted art. The now famous sparkling light show consists of 20,000 light bulbs. They first lit up the night sky New Year's Eve 1999 to ring in the new millennium. After a long day of sightseeing, we had quite an appetite, so we stopped by the Friendly Kitchen, a highly rated plant-based gourmet restaurant. It's said to be a very unique culinary experience. Let's find out. We started out with some delicious kombucha.
In the kombucha.
Margarita was so happy, she has to have her kombucha.
Tastes like wine.
And then we decided to order the 6-course tasting menu, which lets you try a little bit of everything. We started off with the kohlrabi ravioli with ponzu sauce, made of flaxseed oil pulled jackfruit, Granny Smith julienne strips, a tarragon emulsion, seaweed mayonnaise, and borage flowers. It looked beautiful. And it was delicious. This place is definitely fancy, but the taster portions are very small, so I insisted we also order the homemade focaccia with grilled mushrooms and smoked paprika. It also has cream cheese, a walnut crumble, and it was absolutely delicious. I wish we would have ordered more.
See this focaccia, it looks amazing. Vegan cream cheese.
Next course was the Paru vinaigrette with peanut and sesame. Paru is leek in French.
Very fresh.
It also had sashimi togarashi mayonnaise, shallot and rice miso dressing, black sesame, and these little charcoal tule chips and wasabi sprouts. Margarita loved it, but I wasn't that crazy about it. But it looked beautiful. And for the main course, we tried the smoked celeriac mousseline and herb roasted potatoes, which had diced celeriac and white miso dressing. It also had aioli, mustard seed pickles, sea salt pecan nuts, juniper buttermilk pickles, and garlic flour. Delicious. And it looked amazing. It was like a work of art.
So many textures and flavors. Very delicious.
The next main course was the black rice risotto with sauté sauce. This beautiful dish had caramelized tempeh, sesame and lime marinated red cabbage, roasted broccoli, raw sliced leeks, and cilantro sprouts and toasted almonds. It was quite tasty. So many exciting flavors in these two dishes. Next was the fabulous cheese plate, with 2 different fermented specialities, which included seasonal fruit, jam, and hazelnuts.
It's exactly like real. It's very soft and the flavor is so genuine. 100% recommended.
And for dessert, we had the Venezuela chocolate and Assam pepper pear. We really liked the friendly kitchen. They offered us some amazing plant-based flavors. The service was great and our waitress described all of our dishes very carefully. We definitely recommend this place. The next morning we made our way to the Louvre Museum and the city's first arrondissement. This is the largest art museum in the world and a very popular historical monument in Paris. To see everything in the Louvre Museum, it would take 3 months. So some people say don't go to the Louvre if you only have a couple days. But how can you not go to the Louvre Museum? It's one of the places we were looking forward to the most. The Louvre Palace is huge, with over 400 rooms and 35,000 artworks. Definitely impossible to see everything in a day. We're only planning to spend 4 hours here, so we want to see all the best things we can. We made a reservation at 9 a.m. as we heard that was a good time to visit to miss the crowds. As you can see, there are long lines of people trying to buy tickets. But there's also another entrance for ticket holders at the Porte de Lyon entrance, or the 2 Lions, where you don't have to wait in line.
Okay, we're gonna see if we find the Porte de Lyon.
The Porte de Lyon is also the entrance of the Denon Wing, which houses some of the most famous masterpieces. Coming in this museum, it's like a time machine where you get a window of the past. In the 4 hours we spent at the Louvre Museum, we saw some amazing works of art, starting with the treasures of the Italian Renaissance. The Mona Lisa by Leonardo da Vinci, The Wedding Feast at Cana by Paolo Veronese, Coronation of Napoleon, some incredible frescoes, the French crown jewels, the Winged Victory of Samothrace, Venus de Milo, and many, many more. I made a more in-depth video focusing on our Louvre experience. Go to the link in the upper right-hand corner to check out that video. As we make our way out of the Louvre Museum, we were really inspired by all the great artwork we saw.
Merci Louvre. Très belle.
We can't wait to come back and explore some more. But now it's off to some cool bridges around Paris. In Paris, there are 37 bridges spanning the Seine, which flows for 13 kilometers through Paris. They tell a story about the history of the city and are a magnificent sight, by day and as well by night. There's nothing better than strolling along the Seine River and soaking up the ambiance. With the exception of a few newer bridges, most of the bridges over the Seine are reminders of Paris' past. Like the Pont Bridge, which is the oldest standing bridge across the River Seine in Paris. It was built between 1578 and 1607 and was approved by King Henry III. In the 18th century, it was the lively center of Paris. Then there's the Pont des Arts, or the Lovelock Bridge, completed in 1804. It's a pedestrian bridge that links the Institut de France and the center square of the Palais du Louvre. It's a 9-arch metallic bridge, the first of its kind in Paris. This is where everyone attaches their love locks, which is not legal, but people still do it. And probably the most iconic is the Pont Alexandre III, or the Point Alexander III. Built for the 1900 Paris World's Fair, it's named after Tsar Alexander III of Russia. At its four corners are huge 17-meter-high pylons crowned with bronze sculptures of winged horses, representing the illustrious art, science, commerce, and industry. There's also exuberant Art Nouveau lamps and sculptures of cherubs and nymphs scattered throughout the bridge. We were able to visit the bridge at night as well, and it was just magical, super romantic. From the bridge, you can enjoy sweeping views of the Eiffel Tower. It's also been the centerpiece of many popular films. In the 1985 A View to a Kill, James Bond jumps from the bridge to a boat. In the 1998 movie Ronin, Robert De Niro is in a shootout under the bridge. In Midnight in Paris, it's featured in many scenes, as well as The Sopranos and the Adelaide music video, Someone Like You.
Sometimes it hurts instead.
If you have a chance to see this bridge, do it. It's incredible. Visiting Paris was just amazing. It's an incredibly historic city with plenty of things to see and do. 2 days is not enough time to really soak up and enjoy the city. You have to rush around like crazy. Paris is big and very busy, and you spend a lot of time running from place to place. Visiting at Christmas time is nice because it's not too crowded, but I can't wait until we can return in the early spring or late summer. You can't help but fall in love with this place. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe and like. Check out the next episode where we take a closer look at the largest art museum in the world, the Louvre Museum. Enjoy the life. You can check out these videos as well.